You know to call 911 in an emergency, but calling 811, well, that could help you alleviate an emergency. What does 811 do for you? Well, we're joined today by Louis Panzer with North Carolina 811. All right, so for folks who don't know what 811 is, maybe they see it on those, big billboards and things as they drive by on I-40, but they don't know what it is. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so this is National Safe Digging Month. 811 is a national three-digit number that works anywhere. It's the number you call before you do any digging. So what we do is we take those calls from folks that are going to be digging, and then we notify the utilities so that they can come out and mark where those facilities are, so that when you're digging, you can avoid those and avoid injury to yourself or damage to those facilities.
All right, and so I know people at home would say, oh, I'm sure that all those utility, things are like buried way deep down. That is not the case.
Well, and it depends on what you're doing. If you're planting a tree, you're probably going to dig a pretty deep hole. But you're right, you never want to assume the depth of any particular facility. Some lines are deeper, but some of them may not be, especially telephone lines and things that come to your house. They could be at a shallower depth. So you just don't want to assume it. It's a free call by notifying us. That helps protect you, your neighborhood, and everybody around you.
That's right, because if someone cuts the cable cord because they're digging on Saturday and then I don't get to see the game, there's a problem, right?
Absolutely. And increasingly, so many people work from home now as well. And, you could be cutting into somebody's ability to work. You could be cutting into people's health monitoring systems. So it's very important not to disrupt any of those utilities.
All right, so when folks call 811, then what is the process?
So the way it works is you notify us 3 full working days minimally before you're going to work. That doesn't include weekends or holidays. What we'll do is we'll take your information, we'll know what you're going to do, where you're going to do it. We then communicate that out to the utilities who've said they might have a conflict with where you're digging. Then they have those 3 full working days to come out and with that spray paint or flags indicate where those lines are in relation to where you said you were going to dig so that you can avoid those when you're actually digging.
All right, so there's some new legislation that's currently being voted on, and it's going to kind of change the time that a ticket, that's what it's called when you call in, right? You get a ticket for the work that you want to do, will be valid. So let's talk about this new legislation and how it impacts folks.
Sure. So right now, when you contact us, that ticket that you get created for is good for 15 working days. One of the pieces that's changing is that we're going to extend that to 28 calendar days. That's to help kind of take some of the pressure off. We take 2.8 million requests a year currently in North Carolina for excavation. So what this is going to do is extend that life of the ticket from a 15 working day to 28 calendar days, roughly about a week's worth of extension.
Gotcha, and that gives people a little bit longer to work in their yard and do that kind of thing, yes?
Correct. So that ticket, and if it does turn out that your work is going to extend past the life of the ticket, we ask that you notify us and update it to keep that ticket alive throughout the course of your work that you're doing.
Okay, so the easiest thing is to just call 811 to be able to tell them, hey, I need a ticket open because I want to dig. What are the time frames of when we can call?
So basically right now, up to 12 days prior to your project, you can call us. If you're using an electronic app, you can even do it further than that. But basically no sooner than 3 full working days. And unless you have an emergency situation, which is a different thing, but otherwise, if it's just a normal excavation activity, 3 full working days we ask for. So if you were going to want to dig on a Saturday, you would want to call on a Monday to give on a Tuesday to give Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, full days between that contact and that excavation.
And are you guys open 7 days a week, or when can we actually call? What are the hours we can call?
Right. So, yeah, that's a good question. So we're open from 7 to 6 p.m. to take calls. We were 7 to 7. We just changed that to 7 to 6. But if there's an emergency, we are open 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 to take emergency requests.
Okay, if there's something that's about to happen that needs to be happening right now.
Yeah, so a lot of times it might be that they're responding to a cut line, or there could be some other kind of a pull down where somebody has to come out and do excavation around that. So for those kinds of things, they would notify us even after hours, and the utilities will come and respond during that time.
Yeah, it's not just because you want to plant new flowers before Easter and everybody comes over. Got it.
No, it's meant to be a life threat,
Okay.
a threat to life, health, or property.
Yeah. All right. We thank you for your time, your expertise, and reminding us 811 before you dig. We're going to have all of this information in the 2 Wants to Know section for you. Right now, we're going to check out your forecast.